Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new reading. I've had a lot of people ask some really good questions about the life review. So first of all, some people tend to believe, myself included, that when we die and we cross over, part of this process involves taking a look back at the lifetime that we just finished and maybe going over, reliving moments, getting to watch everything from birth to death. Some people get to see, get to remember them like choosing aspects of that earth life before they came here. We tend to see and experience the way that we've made other people feel, the way that we've influenced others or influenced our world around us, other living things, not just people. We get a look at the way we've influenced other living beings like plants and animals too. Now, how did I come to believing in the life review? This happened before I was a medium. I was just fascinated by death, and that sounds really weird, but I was fascinated with death and the afterlife, and I'd started reading other people's near-death experiences and just seeing, well, you know, what happens, what's it like? And a lot of these stories maybe had little tiny details that were different from each other, but a very common element was watching a type of playback of your life. However, I don't want to, as a medium, fall into the trap of just assuming I know something completely for a fact when maybe spirit has other perspectives on it. So this is what brings us to some of our questions now that we're about 2 minutes in. Question 1 is, does everybody have a life review? Does everybody get one? Question 2 is, what is the purpose of the life review? Why do we have to watch it? What do we normally learn from watching or experiencing it? Are we judged during this process? Are we judged during our life review? Some people are very worried about that. Why or why not? And can we skip the life review? I thought that was an interesting question. I'd never really thought of that before until a viewer asked it to me. Do we have the option to just skip and just continue with our crossing over process without reflecting back on this life? So, first of all, we're going to start at the beginning. Does everybody have a life review? Does everybody get one? You know, and I'm just going to start by saying I really deeply feel that everybody gets the opportunity to have one. Does everybody get one? I think so. Or like I said, everyone at least gets the opportunity. We have this justice card helping us to, for some people, it can help to tie up loose ends in their life. You know, maybe they had an experience that they never did understand why something turned out the way it did. The life review is an opportunity to answer some of these questions. It's an opportunity for you to look back and be satisfied with the experience that you had. Now, okay, that's kind of tough to say because some people do not live very pleasant lifetimes, and watching it back might be incredibly difficult. And actually, Spirit has cards explaining this in a second, but for the most part, I think that for the most part, people are good, and despite maybe terrible things that we might have to go through, there are always at least some positive moments in life. There's always something that's going to bring back some joy upon reviewing it. And then I have Ace of Wands. Aces are usually my yes cards when it comes to yes/no questions. But I think the reason there's wands here, the wands are all about creativity and passion. We get to look back at the life that we created for ourselves. I think that our lives are a combination of what is given to us and what we create. And what we create out of the things we're given. Sometimes it's a bit of a combination of both. And now, okay, I was just saying a second ago, not everybody has a comfortable experience, even though there might always be one or two, at least, moments of joy. Some people have a really hard time watching the life review because they've been through so much crap. They've been through so much trauma of any kind. This is supposed to help bring some closure, and by watching it back or experiencing it back, always, never alone, always with somebody from spirit by your side to comfort you and to help you remember that, hey, right now you're okay. You're here with me. You're safe. You're okay. We're just watching this back. It's okay. Sometimes there's things that we don't want to look at. Memories or things that we've just buried so deep, and we don't want to see it again. But in order to move on from it and heal from it, sometimes we have to go back and look at these memories and go, okay, and see them from a different perspective now, and go, okay, now I understand why this person acted the way they did. It doesn't mean it was okay, but when we have a better understanding for things that happen in our life and for people's actions, when we have a better understanding of people and life and stuff, we have a slightly easier time forgiving it. So it seems to be a couple of reasons. Well, we just kind of answered what is the purpose a little bit, but does everybody get one? Yes, everybody gets the opportunity to have one. It's a very good thing. It can help a lot of people with the crossing over process. Okay. So, all right, we sort of kind of answered what is the purpose of it. Like I said, helping you to get through, helping you to understand difficult memories and traumas, and helping you to get through them and heal from them in spirit. And also just looking at the life you created. Okay. Here's a different question. What do we normally learn from watching or experiencing the life review? So the purpose for it is to show us everything we've done, to help us to feel pride and accomplishment, and to help us to understand that, maybe all of our actions had consequences, helps to tie up those loose ends, answer those questions that we didn't figure out in this lifetime. But what else do we normally learn from watching and experiencing it? When I pulled this Eight of Cups, I heard the phrase, but a passing shadow. And I'm assuming that's referring to our lives being but a passing shadow. I think the Bible says something about that. Other texts might too, but I know a little bit more about, Christianity, but I'm pretty sure that's what Spirit is trying to reference to me. Anyways, that our lives here, they're sort of quick. From a spiritual perspective, they're quick. They're experiences. Also, I think that there's no need to become too attached because it's temporary. It's quick because it's temporary. And we're going to walk away from it at some point. And I think watching the life review just kind of, for some, solidifies the fact that you are not in that lifetime anymore. That incarnation is over, and now you're back here in spirit, and now you're going to take watch this back, take everything that you can from it, and apply it to your next steps. Okay, whatever. Another thing that we learn from it is how much we've matured as souls. Because I don't think it matters if you had a comfortable lifetime or a difficult one. Your soul is going to grow from the experience either way. And you're going to be a lot more mature for the experience either way. So we learn about how much more mature we've come. Something about this Ace of Pentacles. I keep hearing the word opportunities. So God, what do we learn regarding opportunities then with this? Clarify that. What do we learn regarding opportunities? Oh, okay. There's also blessings attached to this. Okay, opportunities to receive blessings and opportunities to be a blessing to someone else. Okay, so we learn about all the times where I've kind of said it before earlier in this video, affected other people, but all the times that we've been blessed and all the times that we have in turn blessed others. What else do we learn? That overall, like bigger picture here, everything is okay. It's going to be okay. In the spirit realm, you've returned to your true home, your true family. What else is happening with this Ten of Cups? There's like it's a very positive energy, just very joyful. Oh, we learned how we've made Earth a better place for having been there. That's nice. I like that. We learn how, like, okay, yeah, we go back to our true family or whatever, like I was saying, our true home, but we also learn about how on our temporary home, Earth, or school, or whatever you want to call this place, how we've made it better. I like that. Okay, so next question is, are we judged during the life review? Is anyone judging us? Why or why not? Is anybody judging us? I have cards that are already trying to like flip out. What is happening here? Oh, wow. There's so much valuable information on the bottom of the deck too. All right, all right. Are we judged? Who's doing this? Yes and no. Yes and no. Some people are afraid of this, like, idea of a big cranky god sitting in a giant throne, you know, arms crossed or whatever, looking down at you being like, oh, you did this, this, and this in that lifetime, and you really messed up this and this, and you're not good enough to be here. No. Some people are really afraid of that, but it's okay, don't worry, because that is not at all what happens. That's not what happens. So technically, okay, there is judgment, but it's from the self. Hermit. It's from yourself. Some people live their life expecting to be judged when they die and go over, and so when they do die and go over, they end up judging themselves without even realizing it, because Spirit's not judging them. Spirit might just be gently pointing out opportunities for learning or pointing out missed lessons or mistakes, but they don't do it to judge. They do it to teach. And to them, teaching is an act of love. No, you are treated with much compassion. You will have a spirit guide, or it can be somebody from your family or a friend that is already in spirit. Just somebody that Spirit knows is going to comfort you and is going to be gentle and kind with you. Because to Spirit, they watch us living our lives and they love us as if we are like their children. I don't know about other religions, but Christianity, we're considered God's children. Or people are considered God's children. I shouldn't say we if I'm not necessarily... Anyways, it's complicated. I'm not necessarily in the religion. But no, we're treated really well during this time. I have Queen of Swords here. I think this is maybe why we judge the self. Because we have our mistakes called out and pointed out. And like I said, Spirit doesn't do it to hurt us, it's just to teach. It's like, Spirit likes to always give me analogies, like using little kids. I think it's because I understand it better. But two little kids fighting, maybe the big brother slaps the little brother in the face or something, the little brother is crying and like has a bruise and stuff. the big brother is getting a chat now by mom and dad are saying, okay, well, do you understand why that hurt him? Do you understand why we were upset? Do you understand why he's upset at you now? Like, do you understand why you have the consequences for your actions? It's the same kind of thing. Spirit points out these things to us. And some people tend to maybe take that as judgment, or they take it and internalize it like, oh my God, I was so bad, I made a mistake, I need to judge myself. But Spirit goes, no. And this is why there's valuable information on the bottom. There's the lovers right there on the bottom. It's like, no, do not. There's no need to judge yourself, because we love you and we're not judging you. We're just trying to teach you. We're just trying to help you. And here we go. Here, this is with, there's the Empress. There's the parental energy that Spirit has with us. Like, I want you to learn and grow because you're my child and I love you, and I want to make sure that you have the best possible experience, and I want to make sure that you can be your best possible self. The last card I have here regarding that, I have the World card. When it's done, it's done. You know, when we watch the life review, when it's done, it's done. When you're done learning about things you could have done better, or things they even go over, especially things that you did well. Please don't get me wrong. I kind of left that out because I thought it was obvious, but maybe it isn't. Spirit shows you all the wonderful things you've done, and they are just so proud. But of course, they have to show you the less than wonderful things. They have to show you the bad things you've done, because it's going to help you to learn. Okay. Can we skip the life review? That was a really good question. I can't remember who asked it, but I really appreciate them asking. Can we skip the life review, and why or why not? Can we skip the life review, or do we have no choice? We have to watch. Right away, Spirit reminds me, well, you do always have free will. They strongly encourage that you do. They respect your free will, though, so I think it's not a hard and fast, yes, you have to. I feel like there is a little bit of wiggle room. They feel like it will set you up for greater success if you do. Most people in Spirit will choose to, because they want to see their loved ones. They just want to be overwhelmed with, or they end up overwhelmed with these feelings of joy. They want to remember all of the good things that they have experienced. So a lot of people will choose to, but I don't think it's a hard and fast rule. I think some people are able to more or less take a break. I think Spirit shows me that they're kind of given all of the same information regardless. So this is referring to people who have had really difficult lives, or they've maybe done a lot of bad stuff and they are so scared to have to watch it back. Spirit goes, okay, you know what? We'll give you a little bit of time to adjust to being here. We'll give you a little bit of time to rest and sort of recharge your spirit a little bit. They want us to learn from our mistakes. They want us to learn from the bad things, and the good things. But I'm just saying, with this card, they want us to learn from mistakes and hard times, because they want us to, like I've been saying, learn and grow and go on to just live in peace and harmony, create peace and harmony with others, and in your next lifetime bring in peace and harmony. So if somebody doesn't watch it or chooses not to experience it, then Spirit, you were saying that they tend to learn all this information anyways. So what happens then? Is it just a slower process? That they learn information, or what? Okay. They have a guide or a messenger or somebody will give them little bits of information at a time. Maybe you'll insert a memory or like a little kernel of information like, hey, it's okay that this thing happened to you because here's what you learned from it. And then they give that soul time to take in that information. And then a little while later, hey, here's another message. Here's another memory. Here's another kernel of information. Here's what you learned from this experience now. And then they give the soul time to process it and take it in. Some people just need to really go through this slowly. Some souls got to take their time. And either way, they always have truth delivered to them. They will always be shown the truth about their lives, whether it's all at once during a life review or if it's just little tiny bits of information at a time. And, they let the soul take it in and heal. Because the last lifetime has to be processed before a new one can begin. Spirit's saying, that's not hard and fast either. There are some things that you can experience in one lifetime that you wouldn't have been able to in another. They're saying like there's some loose ends that are okay to be left loose because in other lifetimes things might make sense. But for the most part, a lot of stuff has to be processed first. They would rather you lived in love and joy, love and light, than in shame and guilt and fear and being constantly reminded of bad deeds from other lives, from when you were a spirit living a human experience, not a spirit living your spiritual experience. They would so much rather you feel this love for yourself and acceptance for yourself and in your life and the actions of it. That's interesting because, you know what, I thought it was just a required thing, like automatically people have to do the life review, they can avoid it, but no, it's fascinating that it's not necessarily hard and fast, that your free will does still apply in that area of your spiritual life, that you can choose to watch it or experience it and go through the whole thing right then and there, or some people, again, just need their guides to give them little bits of information at a time, very slowly help them process their life. So either way, we all end up learning the important stuff we need to learn. But I think when you go through the life review, it must just, I use words like faster or slower because that's how we understand it here. In spirit, it's not necessarily like that. They don't really perceive time. They don't really need to. But everybody just receives information in different ways and retains information differently. Just like on Earth, there's different learning styles, different ways of, some people are better at taking in information visually, for example, or listening or by reading. In spirit, that doesn't change. You will have your learning needs, but of course, in spirit, they're going to help you. They always have the resources. They always have what you're going to need. So yeah, looks like everybody does get the opportunity for a life review. You can go experience it all at once or in small, little, tiny chunks of information here and there. But we all learn the truth about our lives and we all need to tie up these loose ends. So thank you to the viewers who have been asking me these questions. This has been awesome. Please remember to like and subscribe to Sienna Rose Metaphysical if you liked this video. Hit the notifications bell to be notified every time I put out a video like this, or I go live, or I do a post in the community tab. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next upload.